Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's talk about the best and worst releases of Year 3. And I made this video last year, I'll link to that below, but these are for like anything added to the game. It doesn't have to necessarily just be units or vision cards. But let's talk about the best first. And it is Slime. This is the second cost 20 unit, and then it is a handout for everybody in the Dragon Quest collaboration, so that's very cool. But pretty useful skill set, and then because it can equip any weapon, it can therefore use any vision ability of a vision card. So that really increases the value of those vision cards. A lot of the holiday ones are included in that. And so yeah, it makes me kind of think twice about all of the different vision cards available. And then this, along with the next thing I will talk about, kind of goes to show that the developers are paying more attention to kind of limited cost PvP, which is one of the more interesting types of PvP, I think. And then another thing is that Slime comes with this Slime robe, a Trustmaster. This is notable because it is an N rarity, so anybody can equip it at the very beginning without any kind of penalty. Some people care about that, I care about that, so I like to have this, along with the Zazan Bearhood. But yeah, number 1, Slime. And then the second best release of the year is, or are, the cost 70 units. They made a kind of a fairly big comeback this year, but they've mostly been released like in the middle of the month. And yeah, this too, along with Slime, just goes to show that the developers have the lower cost PvP in mind, which I like. Alright, next, I don't think everybody's going to agree with me on this, but the dark versions of the Espers that come with the vision cards. I really like these. I don't like to pull for them because they do have the lower pull rate, but you know, it's got the buffs for the 2 different elements. So maybe it can promote more interesting, more varied team building. And yeah, good abilities on these as well. Okay, the next thing, the next best release of the year is the Colosseum game mode, which I don't believe is up at the moment. No, it is not. And it's only come up like a couple times, 2-3 times since the beginning. But what it is that you have like the official championships of the PvP, and then you get a chance to go against those teams. And then they're very, very tough, of course. It's a team of 3 going against you auto battle. And then if you can beat it on auto battle with 3 members, then you are like world-class skill level. It's hard enough to get the clear, though, even with 5 members on manual play. So, yeah, it's fun to play. You get good rewards, and then you also get an idea of like how much like thought and preparation goes into preparing these world-class teams. Okay, and then the last of the best releases of the year are the Dream upgrade, and we can see I have 6 members here. But if you just do the one time, taking them to level 140, it's like a Mastery Ability 3, and it's not hard to do at all. You just need the antlers, and then you can get there. It's not as strenuous or involved as like EX jobs or Trust Stones or that kind of thing. So, just for the single 140, I do like the Dream upgrade. Okay, next, let's move to the worst 5 releases of the year. This might not be a surprise. This came out at the very end of the last year, and then we're covering, what is it? Anniversary to anniversary, not the calendar year, but yeah, Zazan, the exchange Zazan. Totally ridiculous here in JP. Very expensive to unlock the first time, and then much more expensive to trade in those soul stars or soul medals in order to max him out. I saw the math done, and it was even more expensive than to max out Thancred when he was first released in JP. both of which were in the thousands of dollars. They were much more kind about it in the global version. But JP, the developers, they saw the pushback against the Zazan exchange system and vowed to never release another unit in this way, and they have not done that so far. Okay, next. I don't know if I have a example of this, but it's the beginning of the release of mid-month cost 100 units. So it used to be that cost 100 units would be released every 6 months, and then it became every month, and then now they've started to do every other week. So it's the price of the game going up. And that's always kind of a thing that maybe kills the motivation for me to want to play a game, is the increasing price. But I was thinking about it, like, they added the ceiling, and at first glance, it seems like the ceiling is helping people pull less because, you know, there's a limit that you have to pull to. But actually, it might be encouraging people to pull more, because, like, say if you pull halfway to the ceiling, it kind of feels like a waste to not go the other half, finish the ceiling. And so maybe it's actually encouraging more people to continue to pull that maybe would not otherwise. Like I have my personal ceiling of 100 pulls, and then I did that for like Dark Ifrit, which also has a ceiling and a lower pull rate. But yeah, I resisted the urge to finish that ceiling, never ended up with a Dark Ifrit, so that's sad. But I did save myself all the vision ore of having to pull the rest of the way. But yeah, with the cost 100 units and the cost 90 vision cards, they have the lower pull rate, and then the chances are against you that you will get that pull before you hit the ceiling, and I do not like that. Okay, next. For the worst releases of the year, we have the job-based buff vision cards, which actually are not a bad idea, like, in theory, but, like, it's very difficult to remember which cards are good for which characters. And also, since it is still early days, there's still no, like, super pressing need to get and use them now if you already have a bunch of, like, element-based vision cards lined up. Okay. And another of the worst releases of the year are Trust Stones. I don't think I need to go into this at all, but it's a giant pain to do and then, like, implement. There is a segment of the population that does enjoy this very much, and then, like, every mobile game has this kind of, like, player-side endgame content where you can just go infinitely, farm infinitely, customize your guys. And for those players, it's a lot of fun, but for everyone else, it's just kind of a endless grind. Okay, and then the last of the worst releases of the year, the dark side of the Dream upgrade, is the ability to reset your levels, and then it's like about 80 times the max resets for URs, and so that takes that potentially very expensive way to max out Thancred or Zazan, and then kind of applying it to all UR characters in the game. It's ridiculous, it's dumb, it's not in the game right now for any reason other than PvP. And so that makes the price to be very competitive in PvP even more expensive, and I'm not for it. Okay, so that is it for the best and worst releases of Year 3. Let's see what Year 4 brings to us. Hopefully, Chamber of Arms. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.